I wanted to make another video on this channel where I talk about myself. Because there's a lot of arguments that you can poke into everything that I've said so far. And I gotta point them out. I really gotta point them out. Okay, so here's one of the first things that is a absolutely true argument. This is a true way to defeat the way I'm thinking. The passion I have in my argument is inevitably because of a moral position I'm taking. Yes, that is true. Wait a minute, my mic is like going up. I don't know if that's good. Okay, I'll just turn myself down a little bit. All right, but like, yes, I've made every argument I have before because I have a grudge against people that try to morally guilt people into doing things. I have a grudge against people, and I think it is wrong for people to tell other people what to think and what is right or wrong. That's all true. Yes, that's true. There's no, and I can admit it's stupid and it's irrational. There is nothing morally wrong about setting up a society that turns people into droids. There is nothing wrong about setting up a society that shackles people into vigorously on their own accord going through everything like that. There is nothing wrong about setting up a society that feeds off of the delusions that man is inevitably able to create to itself. That's true. But what I also want to say is that there's nothing wrong with malevolence. There's nothing wrong with antisociality. Something that I've realized that I personally believe in is that I have no respect, no compassion for anybody I don't know. I have to know you beforehand. Because what I've realized is that when people don't know me, they treat me nice. Then they get to know me and they fucking hate me. Because I'm an undesirable individual usually. Half the time... if you've seen me say the shit I've said, do you think I have a good social life? No. Hell no. I'm a socially awful person. I'm terrible at talking to people. I mean, I can keep up an alright conversation with people, but my whole life I've been called annoying by everybody I've talked to. That's just how it is. So I don't have compassion for the average person. Because the average person is easily capable of hating me and being malevolent to me. So, listen, yes, in a perfect world, we all have compassion for each other, we're all nice to each other, everything. But this isn't a perfect world. Just like that one quote that guy says, in this is a perfect world, there would be people like me. But this isn't a perfect world. That's the truth, quite literally. So, because of that, I can confidently say that I don't find anything personally wrong with hurting people, like conscious people that are conscious on my level. Now, keep in mind, I have no idea if everybody's as conscious as me. There's a plausible fact that everybody could just be retarded, except for me. And I'm just terrible at communicating myself to them. And there's also a plausible fact that I could be retarded, and everybody else is way smarter than me. And I'm just having a complete mental battle and considering myself smart because I'm thinking about things that are completely obvious to other people in much more depth because it takes me that much. That is absolutely true. Not true, but absolutely possible. Even knowing that. There are conscious people that could be just as conscious as me. In fact, I don't even know if anyone's conscious. But I'm not obligated to be nice to them. I'm not. There's nothing obligating me to be nice to people. One thing I've realized, if it can be done, it's alright. Honestly. There are people who have killed their best friends. That's not even something I could ever think about doing. Of course, don't say you don't think about killing people. Because, like, half the people, like, I would even say 3/4 of the people on Earth want to kill people. But I wouldn't even think about killing a lot of my friends. I mean, I would think about it, but I would never consider it. Everybody's considered killing people before. Usually everybody's just like, oh, but I might go to prison. Yeah, and that's just how it is. In fact, another thing I can say, there's nothing wrong about making a system that forces people and tortures people into being nice to people. That's what we have in the United States of America. What happened to Nicholas Cruz? One guy decided that he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. He could be dead in whatever hell there is, whatever heaven there is, whatever nothing there could be. But we decided that we're going to guarantee that this guy spends the rest of his life, however long it takes. Listen, he could even just like actually just stop eating and neglect his body. But we've decided that we're gonna do that because that one guy was that malevolent, morally malevolent too. And hey, that's okay. It can be done. So why is it bad? Ethicality makes sense in many situations, but ethicality only makes sense to me in a situation where I'm in a society of people that I know. Because when I'm in a society of people I don't know, the compassion of other people is not guaranteed. So I don't want to be ethical. That's that. Another thing that I think is just worth pointing out about my worldview is I see that I am a mind and a body. And my body does everything it can to keep my mind making it live. That's how it evolutionarily makes sense. Now, I can't prove this, of course, but I'm just using logic. It's the same thing as saying, oh yeah, there's just nothing after you die. People just be like, prove it. And I'm like, yeah, I can't prove it, but it fucking makes sense. Like, I didn't ever see anything until I was in this body. I wonder what made this I wonder why I'm alive. Probably this body. Probably this brain. But yeah, this body is set to send stimuluses to me through my brain to make my consciousness feel certain things to make me live. I don't give a shit about my body. Listen, if it was possible, I would be alright just skinning myself completely. I would be alright just jumping off bridges and shit. But it hurts me, and my brain is like, if you jump off a bridge, you might die. And if you die, oh, that's scary. Like, I shouldn't be afraid of death. Why would I? But my brain makes me afraid of death. I shouldn't be afraid of getting hurt, but my brain makes me. Because that's how we're born. Think about it like that. The enslavement of consciousness is probably the most awful thing in my personal opinion. I consider it awful in a retarded moral position, but I'm still gonna view it that way because, let's be honest, I'm a human. I can't keep myself from thinking with grudges. That's just how humans are. I tried my hardest, but I can't. But I think it is the most awful thing that creatures started being conscious. In fact, I hate life. I wish that the universe didn't exist. In fact, sometimes in the middle of the night, I get pissed off. I'm like, why the fuck do things exist? That makes no sense. I wish it was just nothing. Because that would also just make more sense than there being nothing. Another thing that I've also thought is, hey, there would be, since it's possible for there to be something, there wouldn't be anything except for something. And that's just how it is. That's a really weird play on words. I don't really care if you misinterpret that. You might think it's nonsense. It's just a little point about why the universe exists to me. It's just a little meh. If you want me to go into more detail, please comment it. I'll make it probably like a 3-minute video about it because there's not much to talk about it. But yeah, I just wanted to go into a few more depth and talk a little more depth and talk about a little more things. Because I just wanted to clarify up some points about my perspective. It's that simple. I'll finish it off by saying just a simple quote and then I'll end the video. There is no good reason to be compassionate to other conscious people. Humans may be special in the fact that we're more smarter than other creatures and shit like that, but that doesn't mean that we have to like it. That doesn't mean we have to support it. That doesn't mean we have to try to not hurt it. Something can be different, but there's no good reason to do anything like that. Because think about this, we only have reasons because our brain makes us feel like anything is reasonable. Because we're put in a situation where value exists, so we have to comprehend that. Because we come up with our value ourselves when when value isn't real. I might even go into more detail on that, because everyone's like, dude, value is real, I feel it, you can't show me a physical value. Not every you may be like, oh, but you can give a tribe food, and if you put salt on it, every tribe is gonna be like, I like it more. But not every consciousness is human. Not every consciousness is wired like this. I'm saying when it comes to a conscious level of experiencing the world, there's no such thing as value. I kind of got off track there, but you know what I mean. There's no good reason to be compassionate to anything.